Hi, sorry I'm a little bit late. I just did not have my act together today at all. Had a doctor's appointment this morning and just didn't have everything together before I left and thought I'd be back sooner, but excuse me. We are getting cold weather here. Hello, let's see who's tuning in. Well, hi Eileen. I'm running a little late this morning. Kind of got behind. Let me get set up on the iPad here real quickly. I think, whoops, wrong thing there. Hope you're doing okay, Eileen, staying warm. I wonder, what do you think, Eileen? Are we really going to get that weather or what do you think is going to skip over us? Don't know what's coming. Let me see if I can get my... Okay, the iPad's working there. Let's see if I can get my computer refreshed. I like to be able to see y'all's comments in two places just in case one of them messes up. Let's see. Yay, I think, whoops. Sorry about that. Didn't have the volume down first. Amateur rookie mistake like I am. Okay, well, you already had some flurries? Well, I haven't seen any. I had a doctor's appointment earlier and have not seen any flurries yet. Maybe over where you are, or maybe I just can't see out this window and we're having them. So I don't know what we're gonna get. Let me see here. Not getting, there we go. Excuse me, I was trying to swig a protein drink real quickly before before I went on the air, and then I got choked up and been coughing a little bit. So hopefully we will get through this. I really want to know, we kind of had a lot of fun this past weekend. On Sunday, I had a class where we had 8 people who got to come to my techniques class. And I don't know if I've introduced myself or not, just in case somebody's tuning in. Excuse me, besides Eileen, I'm Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Lubbock, Texas. And I have been a Stampin' Up demonstrator since 2005. So I've been at it a while, but I'm just not at it full time until here recently. So I'm really trying to get a schedule and everything figured out on what I'm doing. But this week I've had lots of doctor's appointments, finally getting a follow-up on my knee appointment this morning, my knee replacement. So didn't want to miss that, and it ran a little longer than I thought, so I didn't get back in time to get quite prepared. So we're going to play with what we have, I guess, this morning. But I was talking just a minute ago about the class, the techniques class that we just had on Sunday. Sorry, have a brain fog still. But it was a lot of fun. We played with shaving cream, and it was really a lot of fun. We made a lot of different backgrounds with shaving cream, tried several different papers and different refills and different techniques, different ways to do that, to make backgrounds for cards. And then we actually made a couple of cards, but I thought I would have extras of the kits made so that I could make them today, and we used them all. And I had forgotten that until just got back from the doctor's office. So I don't know if we want to, I'm going to show you a couple of options and see kind of if y'all want to see me do a background or two with the shaving cream. If you want to be patient with me while I kind of get set up for that. I just need to grab some paper towels. I've got some wet wipes if y'all want to see that, but they kind of stay wet a little bit, so you can't really like do the messy backgrounds and make a card. So if you want to see me do some backgrounds, I can do that, or I can kind of explain what we did with the shaving cream and then show you some of the backgrounds that I did and see if we can make a card. I've got one that I had in mind to do from one of the backgrounds, and that would probably be the easiest thing, actually, instead of just showing you the shaving cream, since I don't have all the refills and stuff pulled. But anyway, I think it'll be easier to go ahead and switch the camera down. And please say hello if you tune in. Just let me know who you are and where you're from. If you're not one of my regulars, I'm certainly glad you're joining us. We'd love for you to be part of the Create with Kelley crew. We have a lot of fun together. So if you will be patient with me while I turn the camera down, I will show you what's up. All right, just a second. All right, whoops, we'll see where we are. We came out of our phone stand here. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of my popper or whatever you call it on the phone. It keeps coming out, and I think it's because of my well, yep. Oh my goodness. You can't turn your phone while recording. No kidding. I didn't mean to. Okay, let's see if we're right now. If I can get it back in the stand. We're having little fits today. See if I can get a little more light on the subject. Still kind of dark, isn't it? Let's see if we're right side up or upside down. Hello, Patty. I don't have my new host code ready. Have y'all been doing winter weather prep at your house? Leaving all the cabinets open and all that stuff? Yeah, it looks like I'm still not right on the left to right camera business. Let's see here. When my phone flew out of the stand, it kind of got me mixed up. Well, still not right, is it? How about that? Am I not giving it? Oops. Okay, it's this way that's wrong then. I'm gonna have to, I guess, put gloves on or something where it will recognize my fingertips again. It's just flat. I'm pushing the button, but there's obviously, if you've got an iPhone, there's not really a button. There we go. Now let's go back again this way. See if we've got it. Oh, so sorry about that, peeps. Glad you're sticking with me. Okay. I'm going to show you some of the techniques we played with over the weekend and then hopefully make a final card out of one of the backgrounds. This is one of the backgrounds that I made using the shaving cream technique, and this is Bumblebee and Garden Green and, no, Granny Apple Green and Daffodil Delight, I believe. Bumblebee, maybe Crushed Curry. I don't know. Crushed Curry, Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, something like that, and Granny Apple Green. So we use, this one is a photo paper. We've tried the shaving cream technique to get this background, and all you do is spray just a regular, cheapy, thick, rich shaving cream. You just shake it up real good, squirt it on your plate, drip some refills in there, lightly mix it up like with a knife or a palette knife or something, and you can end up with some beautiful backgrounds. And then I took that one step further, and at the techniques class, we did actually make this card and a couple of others. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll show you, and this one I made the background with these colors based on the fact that I knew I wanted to use the pineapple stamp from the Island Vibes celebration set. So that's why I chose these colors over here. So sometimes you may just play with colors just because you want to play with the colors in this shaving cream technique. And then other times you may have an end in mind, and so you know what your color scheme is going to be for the final card and work from there. So that's what happened here. And then I was planning a card with the Blessings of Home set, cling set. It has a cling set and dies, some beautiful dies, and hoping to do a class with this soon. And I have not colored those with blends yet, the flowers, and so that's what I thought we might do today, and put that on a background that I thought was really pretty. This is more of a, this is the Stampin' Up! Shimmer White. It has the little gold flecks in it. So you can see that it's a lot different from this as far as matte versus shiny or glossy. Let me hold this up a little closer. See if I can get that where you can see both. But this was done with the same batch of shaving cream in Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and Garden Green. So you get the same kind of effect on the paper. It's just a lot shinier if you use photo paper. But the shimmer paper also works, and you can use just regular white paper if you want to do that. I'm going to come back to this one. After I did this and started mixing in the color a little more, it came out to be kind of a mint color. And this is one, just a paper that I had that was a Stampin' Up! Retired paper. But you could do this with any of your stamp sets. I was thinking that would be pretty with this one. You could take like this stamp or this stamp, either way, stamp it on white with Versamark ink, and then, or with white ink, either way, emboss it in white, and then you go onto the paper with the shaving cream after you've done the embossing, and then you get this embossed resist. But isn't that gorgeous? This is one I forgot to take to the Techniques class that I had done, but I just thought that was beautiful how the colors, it just depends on which colors you choose on the color wheel. If they're next to each other, they're analogous colors like the purples and greens and blues. Those all will be pretty, and they may come out to be a pretty background color like this one did with the mint. But if you put colors opposite each other on the color wheel, it'll turn them brown, which could be kind of muddy. So that was what we did. And then also I did this card, this background. This was just on the regular basic white, and I used Calypso Coral and Just Jade. Yeah, Just Jade and Calypso Coral. And when those two mixed together with the shaving cream, it kind of came up with this lighter brown, which can be muddy, but it worked in this. This is kind of the way I liked it. So I was really pleased with the result on that. I used some of the new vellum that we have in the Artfully Composed suite. Artfully Layered, Artfully Composed, one of those. That's what I used on that one, and just did a simple gatefold, cut that in half. So you can get some really beautiful effects, beautiful marbled backgrounds that are similar to the marble paper that we have in the Celebration catalog. But today I thought we would go ahead and take this card, use one of these backgrounds. We can use the shiny or the other. I think we'll use this on the shimmery white, since that is the paper that is by Stampin' Up. And then we will, I have taken, and we may try it two different ways and see which we like. We'll just see how we do on the first one. I've got to get some, we don't have the Garden Green here, but we have Shaded Spruce, and I think it's going to be close enough on here. So we don't have, Garden Green doesn't come in blends, and I wasn't thinking about that when I did the shaving cream technique. So we've got some Highland Heather and some Fresh Freesia, and I'm going to get a little bit of a couple of other colors that we're going to coordinate, and we're going to start coloring these with the blends and just chit chat while we work. And then we'll take this, and I'm picturing it kind of as a gatefold like that other one, and then have this on one side, and then we're going to die cut this out after we do our blends, and that'll be against a solid background. So we'll decide which color we want to do that on. Let me get the Misty Moonlight, and we'll get going. Okie dokie. And you always want to make sure you've got something to protect your surface if you're using blends, because it will bleed through. So probably some grid paper would be a good idea. So we're just going to set this so we can kind of tell what it's looking like. I'm going to start, even though there's no yellow in here, I am going to do a little bit of yellow in the center, just a real subtle one. I'm probably going to use So Saffron, so it's not too bright where the rest of it takes precedent. We'll see how this works. And I usually start with the light and start with the bullet tip. Ooh, that is really, really light. Okay. We may switch to daffodil. I'm just going to use the big tip here. Looks like these have seen better days. Man, that tip is worn out. Okay. This is the dark So Saffron. Just going to kind of go in where those centers of the flowers would be. Probably going to have to use some Daffodil Delight because that's not giving us much color at all. I'm sorry, this is so... I just grabbed a piece of grid paper and it's not very pretty. We will. Let's just do that so at least it's... There we go. Now we can see the pretty and have the paper here. Okay, let's try light daffodil. Just do that over the centers. Probably could have done crumb cake, kind of been a little neutral with it instead of so bright. But I think it'll be pretty once we get the other colors in there. We'll just see. If we don't like it, we're going to make that darker a little bit right around the edges and then right in the middle. Just give that a little bit of color there and right around the edges where it seems like it would be darker. There we go. Okay, and then we'll take the light again and kind of blend that in. Blend the dark into the light so you don't have a dramatic line there. Okay. Now we will, you could really take any of them you want. We're going to make these purple flowers. Let's do fresh freesia. We'll start with the light. I think I'm going to use the big end and just color this whole leaf there. And this again is from the Blessings of Home stamp set and dies. And it does have coordinating designer series paper, but since we've done the shaving cream technique, I wanted y'all to see how you could use it if you did your own marbly backgrounds and then maybe just had some in your stash, and you could do some quick cards with it, or you can use it like these. Whoops, I think we're going to go ahead and go dark on that and then come back and do that second flower. I usually like to do it that way so the ink doesn't totally have time to dry, because with the alcohol inks you want them to be able to blend. So we're just following the artist's lines here. Obviously it's going to be a little darker as it goes into the center of the flower. And then like this petal is on top of that petal, so it'll be darker behind. This one's kind of on top of that one, so that'll be darker. So if you kind of think about it that way of where there might be shadows, there certainly might be in between these. And you can pop up an area by, you can make this one look lighter by making the dark around the edge, it'll look a little lighter there in the middle. Don't worry, we're going to come around and blend that in. Okay, so that was the dark freesia. This is the light freesia. We're going to take that and blend that line there. And this is the first time I've played with the blends with this set. I haven't played with the blends with the floral set in a while. So this is fun. Do y'all like the Stampin' Blends? Do you have the alcohol markers? Or do y'all, you could use watercolor pencils if you wanted to do this kind of a look. It's just a lot of different techniques to give you a lot of different looks. And this does look a little different after it dries, so just give it a minute to kind of soak in and blend and dry, and then if you're not happy with it, and you can go back and layer it some more. But what I like this kind of watercolory look that you get from that. Of course, you can, like I said, use the blends or you can use watercolor pencils. Our colored pencils, Stampin' Up has some great ones. And you could also use blender pens and just use the ink from your ink pad to color it. So there's lots of different options. I'm thinking that's a petal. It's kind of hard to see if they're petals or leaves in some of this area. Now this one is going to be darker than the top one because it would be in the shadow of this one. So we're going to go even darker on that one. We'll take the dark under here, really make that dark underneath. So I hope y'all are having a good day and getting all prepped for the winter weather. Let's see what comments we've got. Hey, Tanya, glad you getting the fire going. Yep, I get it. I was out all morning and busy, trying to rearrange stuff. I had another dang doctor's appointment I was supposed to have tomorrow and decided I was not going to take that risk. I canceled that appointment. I bet there's a lot of people doing that because not many people around here are that good at driving in this kind of snowy weather that we're supposed to have, because we just don't have to do it that often. Okay, we've taken the dark. We're going to take the light back, blend that in. Okay. Let's see, is this the same kind of flower? That's a different flower. I think, I may go with, let's try Highland Heather on those that are darker. We'll just see, stick kind of in the purple tones, but see where we get with this Highland Heather. Ooh. That's the light in Highland Heather. Okay, we may, instead of going with the dark Highland Heather, let's see. Well, let's try it. Okay, let's just go ahead and try it. We'll go all the way out with the light Highland Heather on these. I can't believe celebration is over halfway over. We're already into February. So if y'all have items on your wish list that you want to get, you want to be sure and do that by the end of February so that you can get your celebration goodies. For every $50 you spend, you get a free goodie. Or if you spend $100, which is not hard to do. We have so much wonderful product offerings in the annual catalog and the little January to June mini catalog that it is easy to fill a wish list, that's for sure. And we have lots of fun celebration goodies that you can get for free right now. And you also, if you decide you might want to get a real discount if you've got a really big wish list. We'd love to have you join our team. We do a lot of fun things together, and I'm planning a lot more fun things this year too, now that I'll have a little more time to spend on it. So I'm excited about that. See what y'all think about these. Boy, that is a richer color flower, isn't it? That looks pretty. And you can leave some of the light. Definitely, you don't have to cover every little bit of it. You can leave some of the white because light would be hitting the flowers. Okay. Let's see what we're going to do here. I guess these are the same kind of flowers that those are. These look different to me. But what do y'all think? Are those different? Do y'all want to see those in Misty Moonlight, or do you want me to just stick with the Misty Moonlight on the little bitty ones? Do we want to have two Misty Moonlight there and these Misty Moonlight? What do you think? Y'all want to see the blue? Hi, Jennifer. I'm glad you're watching also. Sound off, that's fun. Since we have the blue in the paper, we definitely want some blue. Maybe we'll just try these in the blue and then see what we think. We'll start with the light. I think I'm going to start with the bullet point. And we could leave some of these flowers white, I guess. And we are going to die cut this out, so that will make a difference too when we don't have all this white surrounding it. I'm glad we went with the darker yellow there, the Daffodil Delight, instead of sticking with the So Saffron like I thought initially. And see here, I'm going to make this one darker because it is underneath that one. See how, I don't know if you can see that on camera, how this is what I was talking about, where you make this one, by making this dark, it pops this one up, makes it lighter. It just pushes this flower up because you're making this one darker. So when you start playing with your blends, there's nothing right or wrong. You can change it up however you want, and you learn as you go. This time you may try it one way and then decide, oh, I see what she was talking about. Or I've tried that and I didn't like it that way. I'm going to do it this way. So you just get your own techniques going, and it's a lot of fun to play with the blends. They are beautiful, and that's so wonderful to be, for Stampin' Up, to have the everything that coordinates. I love that. It's one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up is because of the beautiful color coordination with everything. Because we have every cardstock has a matching ink pad and marker, and then a lot of those have the Stampin' Blends to boot. So we have alcohol markers and the dye-based markers, both, in a lot of the colors. So just being able to coordinate all those colors and then have ribbons and embellishments too, I just love it. That's just awesome. Okay, let's see here. I guess we might as well do that one blue too. This big one up here. This looks like a different flower, maybe, and that's a different flower, in my opinion. You're right, Jennifer. The Misty Moonlight kind of does look different. It can take on purple tones in with the blue. It is kind of a bluish purple. So it does depend on what colors you have it next to, what color it looks like. And has anybody been up to anything or had a good week or so far, or anything going on that I need to know about? Y'all know I'm always here and available. If you have questions about the Stampin' Up! Products or about a certain technique or anything, I can certainly research it if I don't know it, because I certainly don't know. I'm certainly learning all the time, just like y'all are. I'm glad we're part of a sharing group. I love the fact that Stampin' Up! Demonstrators allow you to case other people's or each other's projects, I guess that would be, each other's. And casing is copy and share everything. So there are a lot of industries out there who don't want to share information. They learn something and they want to keep it to themselves, but so that they can get ahead. But we're all about making handmade cards and making people happy as they craft and making people happy who receive the cards. It's just a very reciprocal, very giving, very creative community. So I would love for y'all to join some of my paper crafting classes. If you haven't been to one, we are still hosting classes in person here in Lubbock. Our COVID numbers are finally going down again. Hopefully they'll stay that way, knock on wood. But we sure have a lot of people who are vaccinated, and that certainly helps to have the vaccinations and have boosters so we don't have to worry about it as much. And so we can do in-person classes. I do also offer classes to go where you can pick up your kit and make the card at home and then watch a video. We'll just decide if we want to leave those flowers white. And I'm going to start some of the green. We're going to see how this green works with this is the light shaded spruce. It's not going to be exactly that same color. We may have to mix a little olive in here to get the right color. We'll see. I think once we get the dark, it's going to look closer to our garden green. But like I said, it may take some mixing old olive in here because this one has a little more warm tone to it. Let's see how we do with putting a little dark on the shaded spruce here. And again, I'm just following the lines that the artist who initially designed this put in there for us so that we kind of know where the shading is, which is awfully kind, isn't it, and considerate? Because you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to have any training to play with the blends. They're just a lot of fun to play with. And it's just paper. If you end up with something you're not crazy about, then we can start and do a different one. Let's see. I'm going to get some mossy. Let me see if the mossy, I'm going to add a little bit of this and see if we can get, whoop, I forgot these need to be replaced. These ends are worn off from one of my past classes, I think. Is this the dark or light here? We have light mossy meadow. And you can mix the colors. You don't have to stick to just the dark and light combo. See how that warmed that up? That's a lot closer to this. So let's just start with the mossy meadow and put some, we'll just do some of these in the mossy. And I just placed an order recently. I wish I had put these on my wish list. That would have been a good idea. Whoops, we're not going with dark mossy meadow. We're going to put some dark shaded spruce in here. We'll see what we think of this. See, that's a different shade from that, but leaves have different shades, so that's fine. I think I'm going to go, I think I like these, starting with the light. Here we go. Sorry, y'all are looking at a messy here. Typical. Y'all know me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the light shaded spruce and then come back with the mossy. And whatever you're comfortable with, these bigger leaves, I feel comfortable using the big tip, but if y'all don't, you certainly don't have to. You can use the bullet tip. Okay, we're going to get some dark shaded spruce in there on these lines. When you're doing detail work, it's a lot easier to use the bullet point. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with the mossy. Which is almost out. See how that changes that kind of from a cooler leaf to a little bit warmer to go with this garden green over here. We're just trying to get that to where it coordinates, even though we don't have the exact color blend. Sometimes you can make your own. So that's fun. Do y'all play with Stampin Blends very much? Oh yeah, Jennifer, we do have some new ocean themed products that are coming out. Customers will be able to purchase those on March 1st, and demonstrators, that's one of the perks of being a demonstrator and signing up on my team, is that you're able to pre-order some of the brand new items that are just wonderful. They're beautiful, these ocean themed products. They have waves, and it looks like paint is just poured onto a big canvas, and then just like taking the canvas and moved it like this and let the paint go around. Y'all have seen paintings like that, but we have some paper that's coming out like that, designer series paper. And the dies are going to have waves. It's just going to be beautiful. So y'all just hang tight. You'll be able to order that in March, like I said, unless you're a demonstrator, and you can order it now. It's going to be awesome, but it will have some sequins that will be really pretty with this. We also have a lot of different embellishments. Stampin' Up! Is really coming out with some beautiful sequins that pick up the colors of wherever you put the color. They pick that up, and it's just gorgeous. Let's see, do we want to just leave this white back here? I guess we do. Let's just die cut it and see. Whoops, we got to finish these little bitty leaves over here and see if we want to make those little flowers. Did y'all ever decide, or do you want me to die cut it first and see how they look if we leave them white? It's really hard to tell with all the white background around, but I kind of think we might want to leave those 3 little ones just white. Little teeny bit of mossy in there. All right. Hopefully y'all can kind of see that. Let me see if I can get that on screen where you can tell. See how much depth the flowers have? I may blend that a little bit better there. I'm going to go back with the light of the fresh freesia and get that. I kind of like the look, but when you're using the blends, you can get it really smooth, so we don't want people to think you can't get a smooth transition. Still trying to leave one little part of it white. Because you would have light on that area. Hopefully this isn't boring to y'all, but maybe you're playing with your own blends at the same time. That would be awesome. I'm going to get a little bit more of the dark fresh freesia right here, since that's our biggest flower. Definitely the focal point. Okay, well, let's die cut that out and see how that goes. I'm just gonna take it over and die cut it real quickly. Y'all can, instead of dragging that all the way over here. Oops. Is that the right one? Yes. Okay, we just line it up like that, and I'll run it through my die cut machine over here. I'll be right back. I'm still in the room. I guess I can pull it up here, just in case we have somebody watching who hasn't done this. We'll use our plate number 1 and then one of the clear plates, and we'll attach. It's not very flat. Let's try this one. My plates are well used. You can tell if I had a Valentine's class where I cut a lot of hearts out. You can certainly still see the impressions there. Okay, we're just going to use a Post-it note on here to kind of hold that in place. See if I have another one handy. Might take 2. We just want to make sure we're right on that outline. Looks like it's moved already a little bit. Stampin' Up! Does a beautiful job with coordinating the dies and stamp sets. You get a lot of flexibility out of it when you buy a bundle, and you always save 10% if you buy both at the same time. And I didn't have my little dot right under there, so I don't think that did anything. I forgot my number 2. See if I can take that without moving that. We're going to go back through the other way. Sorry about the shaky table. Here we go. And you always peel off the Post-it note right back onto itself so that it doesn't peel off your cardstock or anything like that, instead of pulling it straight up. We'll just pull it right, and I should have stuck that on my clothing first so it wasn't quite as sticky since that was a new one, but looks like we did all right. Okay, now how pretty is that gonna be with this? I think we may want to leave those white. We'll see what y'all think. Okay, I'm gonna see if y'all want this on. This is a shaded spruce background. If we have this over here and this hanging over, maybe do a texture here, where we have it like that is kind of what I'm thinking. It could be on the card. It doesn't have to be a gatefold, but it can be. Do y'all like it against the green, or do you like it against the misty moonlight? Like that, so you only have half of it like that, and that would have a texture. Or we could do fresh freesia. I have to cut this one, but we can imagine the size. Put it like this. What do y'all think? Do we have a vote? I think the deeper colors look better. Maybe we should put this in a rectangle and then put this on, or should that be on the whole card front instead of just a gate? That covers up too much of it. I hate to lose that. While y'all are deciding on color, or we can go garden green. We may have to go garden green since we changed that up a little. Here's the garden green, which is the color that's in here. I agree with the green, makes it pop. Very okay. All right. We'll see what we think then. I'll cut these down. We'll cut this to leave a little border around. I'm going to cut that to 2. Move that score blade out of the way. And I'm going to say 2 there. And if we use this size, which one do we lie? We'll cut off the bottom. Let's say 5 1/4. No, really, let's do 5 3/8. With a gatefold, somehow it makes the middle look, the middle fold look bigger or something. It's hard to explain. Let me get this scored. Okay, we'll score the garden green and then cut it in half at 5 1/2. That corner I messed up. I'm just going to use this one. Okay. Now we've got the garden green. We'll see what we think on that. And maybe use some fresh freesia ribbon is what I was, oops, and I didn't do it. I did not do that as a gatefold. Didn't do the right score on that. So we're going to see what we think here. If I texture this, what if we had a little fresh freesia background behind the flower? Let's see if I have a small piece. No, but we can cut one. Oh, that was Highland Heather, but not fresh freesia. Do y'all like a background behind this? If it was just a rectangle, or do you like it like that? Or we can do this. Fresh freesia makes the large flower pop. Yeah. Green is pretty. I like the fresh freesia garden green. The other's too dark. Yeah. Patty's no. Okay, sorry, since I have such a delay, it's hard to tell. Do y'all like it like this? And then then just put a little greeting. We could stamp a greeting on here. Let me grab some fresh freezer ribbon. Thinking maybe this on there would be pretty. And just a little skinny greeting in white. Do we want to emboss this like with the ornate garden folder or something? Or do we want to leave it plain? Oops, trying to get this. Hold on. That's not my current host code, so I want to cover that up so nobody gets confused. Okay. We're going to wrap this around tight, see what you think. All right. There we go. My ribbon scissors here. See which way we want that to go. Could do that way. And I'll grab the ornate garden folder. Is that what y'all are thinking? Or do we want like the art gallery, the one that looks kind of painted, or do you want just textured? I kind of think that the little flowers would be pretty, the ornate garden flowers. That covers up quite a bit of that paper, but I'll grab those folders and we'll see what we think. The bark folder would kind of continue the marbly look, but it's more straight lines. Here's kind of the ornate garden folder with these little flowers. I think that'd be pretty. Y'all think that'd be too busy? Or the art painted textures folder. Any of those? Anybody have art gallery? And slide the ribbon down toward the bottom of your technique piece a little more. Okay. Art gallery. All right, we're going with art gallery. Thanks for your input. And this is a 3D folder, so all you need, and you can't run the hinge when you're doing just the front of the card like this. You can't run it hinge first like you really should. So y'all beware if you do this on your own machines, that that's not the way it was designed. And you have to be really, really careful not to mess up your embossing folder when you do it this way, sideways. Because that's not what the instructions say, but sometimes that's what you have to do to get the effect that you want. Here we go. Now we'll play with this. That's the one I was thinking too. That'll look pretty with the marbled. I think that bow's a little big. We're going to make that a little smaller. My ends are wanting to kink up too much. See what we think there. All right. Now, okay, all we have to do is figure out a greeting. I think that's pretty. I think y'all made a good choice. What do you think? We'll just see how we want to do the greeting now. I think the way I had it works there. So let's look and see in our blessings of home what we have for alternatives for greetings. Have a perfect birthday would be pretty. A nice long skinny greeting. We can try that one. Let's see, do we want that in a, probably the Misty Moonlight color. Sorry for all the noise in the background. Just having to move a bunch of stuff out of the way. Watched Texas Tech basketball last night instead of working on Stampin' Up. You know, sometimes you just have to make some choices. But that was quite a good game. I don't know if any of y'all watched it, but that was very exciting to get to beat Chris Beard. I thought. I'm not even a sports person, but that was fun to get to do that. Okay, we're going to practice on here because I don't think I've stamped with that. Nope. See what we think about this. I'll leave room for us to do a little banner end if we want to. Kind of get this straight. I like to line it up on the grid paper as best I can. Just stamp straight down, straight up. This is the Misty Moonlight. Set that aside. Now we'll figure out how we're going to do this. Maybe we even want it to go all the way across and kind of, maybe I should have done it at the other end and leave it on there with this and have it go all the way. Well, we'll try it once as a little short piece and then just see. We may want it on top, we may want it on bottom. Let's just And then if you snip one off like that, you can move it right over here and line it up and get the same angle on the other side. Not that it has to be exact, but that's one way to do it. Whew, that's a long greeting, isn't it? May have to come. I hate for it to overlap the flowers. Could make it smaller, cut it to size. Let's do that so it's not quite so big. Bye, Jennifer. Glad you could join. Yeah, Steve went to the game with Frank Phillips, and they just had a big time. I was really glad our students behaved. I was kind of worried about that, what would happen. What do y'all think of that? Just small, barely overlapping the flowers. If I pop that up, I'm going to go ahead and glue the other part down. Make a diagonal cut between the Have a and Perfect Birthday. Yes, I could do that. So you think I should... Yeah, there's not really room for a diagonal between the Have a Perfect Birthday. I'll let y'all see if there's enough time to... I mean, let the lag time go away. That's what I'm trying to say. And see what y'all think of that layout. Let me go ahead and get this glued on. Get our little mat so we don't make a mess. And if I'd have known I was doing this, I could have cut that where it went all the way across, but I think that's still fine with the border on the sides. Probably if I had planned it out, I would go all the way across, leave it 4 1/4. Now we'll pop the flowers up and then we'll decide what we want to do with the greeting. Let me get my die back where it should be. Don't want to get it all bent up in this mess on my desk. Okay, we'll get this in camera view so I can pop these up. Put one in the middle. What the heck? See if that's covered. Those are all sticky. Yep. Oops, I wish I'd have moved that up just a little bit, but I did not. I didn't push down on those dots just in case we have to move them. I think that works if you double dot that. double it or use a foam strip would be a good idea. But I'm just going to, let's see if I've got a foam strip in here. I don't think I do. We're just going to put a strip, not all the way, not under the have a part. We'll just put a strip like this because the part underneath the have is already popped up with this. So this will kind of even that out. Then I'm going to add another strip on top of that to kind of make this doubled up. Let's add a little bit. Now I've lost it. Oh, it's on my sleeve. Stuck to my sweater. Okay, now we'll see if that other part needs one. It may need one. Whoops, that's not where I had it. I had it right here. Yikes. Really should have planned that better. Stuck down a little too soon. Yes, Tanya, I do like the thinner cut too. And I like it kind of on here. Do y'all? Instead of up there? That looks funny to me. I think it kind of needs to be a cohesive, all part of the same focal point here. Why is it doing that? Oh. Well, the backing stuck back to it, so it wasn't sticking like it was supposed to. Think down a little bit, or y'all like that? And I think down just a tad. And then we'll add some embellishments. Yeah, I do need one layer underneath that. Since the rest of this has a double layer, this one does still need one. I thought I could get by without it, but nope, I think I need it. Okay, so I've got one layer on here because it's on top of one layer, and then that's double stacked. And we need some pretty rhinestones, and I think we'll be in good shape. Oh, I haven't looked out. Okay, let's see what kind of rhinestones we want. Got so many wonderful choices here. Let's see, I think my iridescent ones may be somewhere else, but I think these, we could use the fresh freesia from the In Color embellishments. Let's see if we just maybe want a couple up here. We'll just play. I haven't really stuck them. I've just barely got them on there. Do we need one on here? Barely, so I can move them. One down here, 3. They really hardly show up there. Or do we just want to put just in the flowers instead of over here? I don't think you can really see that very well. We could put like a yellow. This is actually pale papaya, but we can certainly make it work in the center of a flower if y'all think it needs that. See what y'all are on camera, the ones on green don't really show. Yeah, they don't show much here either. Let's see what we think about putting them on the inside of the flowers, just doing the yellow or this pale papaya. And maybe not even putting these. I don't know that that really adds over here. Unless we move these onto here. I could have left room on the greeting. Put them there. What do we think? Do we like them on the flowers? Is that too much? Do we want them over here? Do we not want either one? What you thinking? I like the smaller ones on the smaller flowers, not so much for the larger one. Like that, Tanya? I'm totally open. I can kind of see those over there. I guess that works. All right. Well, I don't have any idea. Oh my gosh, we've gone way past time. Sorry, peeps. That's what I get for playing with blends. Those are so fun. You just lose track of time because it's like coloring, adult coloring, and it's quite fun. So, thank y'all for bearing with me. I would just probably cut a little piece of this, leave enough for another card maybe, and then cut a sliver to put on the inside of that in a piece of white paper, or stamp one of these and just one little flower in the corner and do that for the inside. So we'll skip the inside, but this is kind of what I was thinking with that marble background. But you can see how much that adds to just having just the flower and the texture, just to have that little bit of marble paper, kind of like a designer series paper. It really makes a big difference, I think. So thank y'all. Glad you like it. I'll turn the camera around one more time and say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you very much. And if you need any of the products in the catalog that I used tonight, I'm happy to help you order those, or you can just go to createwithkelley.com. And if you do it before the end of February, you'll get the celebration items for free. So let me hold up the card that we made today. Let's put it on this side. Maybe it'll show up a little more. Have a perfect birthday. And it was fun playing with blends and showing you how two different techniques can combine on a card. So it has the shaving cream technique on the little marbled background, and then we use the Stampin Blends all on the flowers. So, and then we have texture. See if I can get it close enough for the texture to show, from the art gallery, or painted, oh, whatever that was, painted texture, I think. And that is from the annual catalog, that embossing folder. So the stamp set that we used again, and dies, are from Blessings of Home. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'll have some more classes in February. Just look up I can email you the class schedule, or you can look it up on my Stampin' Up calendar, or just go to createwithkelley.com and I'll have my host code updated right away. I'm going to do that right now. So that'll be updated in a few minutes. And then I have my class schedule coming up. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Let me know how I can help you as your demonstrator. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I'm happy to send you a catalog. Just send me an email at kelly@createwithkelley.com. Y'all take care and have a good day and stay warm in this winter weather. Thanks a lot. Fun times ahead. I appreciate y'all coming. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.